Today's episode of Armchair Ninja Podcast is brought to you by NinjaWarriorBlueprints.com. Get detailed and easy-to-read instructions on how to build your own affordable backyard gym, including the salmon ladder, cliffhanger, and rumbling dice at NinjaWarriorBlueprints.com. Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Thursday, August 18th, 2016. My name is Rich, and this week I'm joined by Wolfpack member Brian Arnold. Hey, how you making out, Brian?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing, Rich?
I'm doing awesome. Kind of a surprise special guest for everyone. We didn't announce this one. It was just kind of a last-minute decision.
Well, I'm happy to be on the show, man. I'm excited. I'm actually a fan of the show, and I listen to it usually every week. So
that's cool. So I got to ask you first off: have you been watching the Olympics lately?
You know, I really don't have much time to watch the Olympics, but I've caught a few seconds here and there, and I really love them. I love like high level athletics like that. I don't know what's the medal count up to right now. Anyways, do you know?
I have no idea. And what's funny is because your medal count is different from mine, right? I'm in Canada, so I think
that's right.
We've got very few. We've got 2 golds last I heard, which is pretty exciting. So the Summer Olympics just aren't really our thing.
Oh yeah, you guys crush in the winter though, I bet.
Oh yeah, we do totally. Thank you so much for joining me. That's Slacker Bajan. He took off to Hawaii to run in his Spartan Bees competition. He's going to be joining me again next week, but he doesn't have a commitment to this kind of thing, right? He just runs off to Hawaii anytime he wants.
That sounds so much fun. I love this type of races. I think that I'm jealous. I wish I was doing what he's doing. Not that I'm not having fun here. This is, you know what? Why did he leave? This is so much more fun.
Really though, and he couldn't, take time from his vacation to record with me. He had to just lounge on the beach, posting these pictures on Instagram.
Well, how do I apply to do to be the co-host?
We are accepting applications, I have to say. Can't take 1 week off here. Actually, he's recorded with me sick. He's recorded me with, we've both been recording every week, no matter rain or shine. So it's great that he gets to have a week off. So good on him. But we've got lots to talk about. Brian's joining me actually because the big topic this week is the Wolfpack Ninja Tour, which is coming up. They've started their Kickstarter. We're going to learn all about that. We'll take the opportunity to talk a little bit about Team Ninja Warrior. And we'll have our video of the week since we have an off week and a chance to do it. And a couple other little things. So let's jump right into it. So the Wolfpack Ninja Tour. Can you kind of give us a high level, what's that all about?
Okay. The Wolfpack Ninja Tour is it's basically the Wolfpack bringing Ninja Warrior to a city near you. That's what we want to do. We're lucky enough to being competitors on the show. We get to run this course, and we're constantly running into fans and just people who want to be able to do the Ninja Warrior course, and they can't. They can't do it. They just, it's so hard, the process just to get on the show. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Some people just want to try the course but don't want to do the whole TV and competition thing. So that's what we're doing. We're bringing a Ninja Warrior course to a city near you. Well, that's the goal. We're still working on getting the company up and running. And, it takes a lot of money. It's very expensive to build this huge course. And we're actually in the process right now of building it. It's about 1/3 of the size that we want it to be right now. Actually, I want it to be about 4 times of what we got now. But it's massive right now. Right now, and this is something that we're building, and we're going to be doing our first, it's not our first event. This is going to be the first huge event we've done. We've done some events with anywhere from 200 people, 250 people to 2,000 people. This event that we have planned this coming Saturday is going to be up to 25,000 people. They're going to be there. And so we've built a Ninja Warrior course that it's basically 12 city qualifier courses. So if you're watching the show, it has 6 obstacles and ends on a warp wall. We built 12 lanes of that. So this thing is massive. It's like 80 by 200 feet.
That's actually 12 of them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, and in order to, we have to build it big for one, in order to get enough people to go through, to get the throughput, we have to build extra. We have to build so many lanes because there's so many people that want to try it. So we want to scale that up to a point where, we can run 2,000 people or, more a day through. So ideally I want it 4 times this size and have it massive. I want big. So if you guys want to see this happen, we have a Kickstarter that we started. And if you guys know what Kickstarter is, it's an online way to fund businesses and stuff that you want to see, invest in businesses that you want to see up and running or products. And this is not a charity thing. You don't just give your money to a cause. This is, you actually can get things in return. So if you guys want to see, if anyone out there wants to see Wolfpack Ninja Tour come to their city, you can go on to Kickstarter.com, just search the Wolfpack, and you can donate money and get things in return. I shouldn't use the word donate. I should say invest your money. And there's different levels. You can just invest $1 if you want. But if there's certain levels, like if you invest so much money, you'll get anywhere from a T-shirt. If you invest over a certain amount, you get a lifetime pass. Everyone that donates gets a vote for their city. If they want to see it in a certain city, you can have a vote and say in where we go. And we would like to do 48 of these cities next year.
Yeah, that was the first thing that struck me. I thought, when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be similar to ANW. There would be 5 to 10 cities. And honestly, you guys, if you go check out this list, it is unbelievable. You guys are really ambitious. There is a massive list of cities here. So they actually will be almost guaranteed to be within driving distance of where you are, no matter where you are. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, this is the dream. Well, I really hope to see it happen. And at least on that scale, it will happen. Especially if you're in the Colorado area, you're very lucky, especially if you're in the Fort Collins area, because you're going to see firsthand this course this weekend, at least as we're recording it here. It's going to come up on the 20th of August here, but we're definitely going to be around the area doing these courses, and we just want to be able to, to do more. And share the whole Ninja Warrior magic and experience with all the fans and everyone out there that loves to do it. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, so looking at it on the Kickstarter, we're going to link it in the show notes, so if you want to check it out, definitely it'll be available. The layout looks really epic. I was really impressed, especially with the computer model of the whole thing that it runs through. The scope, the size of the whole thing, it's really impressive, and it looks really it's not. You look at a lot of Kickstarters, they look, like it's just some guys throwing something together and they have an idea and they you guys are driving this. There's no question to me that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of scope at this time. How big is it going to get?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is you have a bunch of driven individuals in the Wolfpack. And I think it kind of shows on how obsessed we are with, winning the show and in our training and stuff. And I feel like we do well, a lot of us on the show every year, because it's not because we're genetically gifted, it's because we're obsessed. and that's pretty much how it is with this tour. We really want this to work, and we want to share this experience with everyone. So there's a lot of time and energy going into making this a reality. And I'm really excited to be a part of the whole thing. And yeah, it's going to happen. It's a reality. It's so exciting.
So one of the things you guys are really tackling, and I think this is kind of an extension of your goal of reducing childhood obesity, getting families more active and kids more active. So as a fan of the show who is definitely not as active as I should be, and raising an unhealthy family as an extension of that. I'm basically, and being a ninja fan, I am kind of your target audience for this. So what kind of things would I get to do there? So I know I'm not capable of running a normal course. I can, maybe do a pull-up or two, but that's about it. So is there things there for me to do, or is it mainly about engaging with the ninjas that are going to be there?
No. So when we were talking about, we're designing what the Ninja Tour was going to be, we really wanted everyone to be able to participate. All skill levels, all ages. There is no age limit. There's no, you have to be at a certain skill level. We want to get everyone out there and just share the whole experience with everybody. Even people that aren't, usually that active. We want them to have that experience, and we really do want to encourage people to get out and get active. So like in the 12 lanes that we have on the course that we're doing this weekend, they start off where there's really, really basic, easy obstacles, and it slowly progresses. So there's different levels depending on which lane you get in, and they progressively get harder. And then we even have a lane on the course that's going to be so much harder it'll be harder than what you see on the show. It's how we train kind of lane. So if you can beat this lane, basically you could probably complete one of the courses on the show. So we want it for everybody. And we also one of my favorite parts of the whole setup we have is we set aside 2 lanes specifically that are identical for racing. So you can get on there and do the Team Ninja Warrior racing against your friend, or we're gonna have some of the pro ninjas come out and set times on the course, and you can try to race and beat our times.
I'm telling you, you're convincing me. I'm going to end up going on a road trip to this thing. I think Boston's probably as close as you're going to get to me. I can see me hitting the road to go see this.
Well, I hope people get on the Kickstarter and check out the video of the CAD, we have of the concept. And I think when you watch that stuff, you'll get excited too about our vision, and I hope people are excited to invest in this and make this a reality.
So I'm a little confused though. Are you guys traveling around with it? Is that the plan? Or like whoever's available? Or are you getting local ninjas from the region to go kind of be at them?
Yeah. So it is the Wolfpack Ninja Tour. So we want to travel with the tour, but if we're doing 48 cities, I don't know if we're going to be able to. Each one of us is going to go to every tour, and that's one of the reasons this is one of the reasons that the whole concept is so great. Is not only is this a way for us to share an experience with the fans and stuff, but other ninjas are going to be joining us, and there's a lot of ninjas out there that they train full time and stuff, and they put a lot of effort and time into training for the show, and this is going to give them a way to actually make some money, so they can continue to train and be professional athletes. So we want to bring other ninjas onto the tour and give them a way to make some money, so they can continue to be on the show. Because it's a lot of the fans, I don't think, realize how much time of the top guys put into this, and there's very little compensation. So we want to bring some of those guys on the tour, so they can get paid to be training and be ninjas. So it's just one of the other exciting aspects of the whole tour.
I'd say it sounds really awesome. I wishing you best of luck. I'm going to be donating. I haven't chosen yet. I'm basically debating, because to me, if I'm going to attend, really the $50 minimum seems to make the most sense, right? Because you get tickets to the show. It seems to balance out. That's the way to go. So I'm basically bouncing between a little lower and the $50 range.
Well, I don't even know I didn't set the Kickstarter up, so I'm not sure exactly what the levels are. But Man, I know there's one on there. You might imagine if they had a Kickstarter for Spartan Race for Bijan, and Bijan had done. I think there's a minimum where you pay $1,000 for this Kickstarter, and you get a lifetime pass for any show that the Wolfpack tour puts on. So you could actually go on tour with the Wolfpack tour, or with the Wolfpack. But if they'd done for Spartan Race, you could go to every Spartan Race for free, or basically for your one-time $1,000 fee. But anyways, check it out.
Yeah, it is the $1,000 level. I'm just looking at it right now. So that's the Wolfpack Ninja Silver Star, and it's transferable too. So that's really
you could
good.
Sell it then at that point. Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be priceless eventually.
It will be.
So yeah, there's all kinds of different levels. Everybody can contribute a little bit. If you like the Wolfpack, I highly encourage you to go.
And if you guys do want to see this happen, and you don't have, any money to invest in this, yeah, $1 it does a huge. It can be huge because it can help it trend, and if it starts trending on Kickstarter, then that can put it in front of people who maybe have some more money that will donate. So, every little dollar helps too. So let's make this happen. And I do believe this will happen. It is happening right now. Because and the reason it's working is because it's so popular. When we show up, people freak out when they see our courses, and that's why we've slowly have been growing on our own. It's just been a slower process, but every competition that we've done, every event we've done has gotten bigger and bigger, and finally to the point where we're going to do a 25,000 person event this weekend, and it's going to it's going to fund the next one, and we keep rolling that over into bigger and bigger events. But the Kickstarter is just going to help make this thing happen so much faster. So,
all right, awesome. So you guys are about a fifth, or around about a fifth of the way there. 28 days to go, so we're gonna do what we can to help make that happen. And if you, like you said, kick in $1, but also remember to share it on social media, get the word out there. There's lots of other A&W fans out there. Most of us know somebody that watches, so help make this come to a city near you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break for a word from our sponsor. Every kid loves a playground, but why settle for the same rickety swing set that you had as a kid? You know you aren't going to pour those concrete foundations, and one of the legs is going to lift up into the air every time the kid swings. That's not safe. Well, you're probably not going to do that nowadays. I think that was just my generation. But either way, for the same cost of a boring run-of-the-mill playset, you could build your kids an epic ninja course in the backyard. The other kids will be jealous and sucking up like you can't imagine. Your kid will suddenly be 3 times as popular at school, leading them to have better social lives, more confidence, and eventually a happier life in general. Don't you want your kids to be happy? What kind of parent would deny their children happiness? Buy your kids happiness, approval, and social status. Get started with your free salmon ladder plans at ninjawarriorblueprints.com. When you're ready to up your game and guarantee the kid a date for the prom, ask them about their ultimate Ninja Warrior course blueprints. Invest in your children's future happiness at ninjawarriorblueprints.com. Okay, and we're back.
I could have used some of those plans this weekend when I was building.
Well, now you know where to go.
Nice.
You can get them right there. Yeah, they get lots of cool stuff there. I definitely highly recommend everybody check them out. So once I realized you're going to be on the show, I had to take. I mean, Team Ninja Warrior is filming soon. Team Party Time returning.
Oh yeah, we are. I mean, why change things up? They worked last year. We're back to the party continues.
That's awesome. Like, and your team, now that now that we know a little bit more, we didn't know quite as much going into the last season. Looking at it now, you've got Jake Murray and Jennifer Tavernier on your team. No wonder, like, the 3 of you guys are gonna crush it again, and we'll definitely be ranking you higher in the standings leading into it this time.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I hope we showed people that we are a force to be reckoned with, and there's a lot of good athletes on the show. So who knows what will happen next year? And I know a lot of people are training differently, and It's going to be fun. I'm really excited to see what happens. When I think about all the different competitors, and there's some new teams that you guys don't know about yet. It's like they've changed a few of the members up on some of the existing teams, and there's some new blood in there. Oh, it's going to be crazy. The competition's even steeper.
Yeah, people have been gathering, and I have been keeping up a little bit on, the teams that have been announcing on Instagram and different things. So there are definitely some new names there for us to go through. I'm pretty sure that Bijan and I will be going through and kind of breaking down the teams again, getting an idea of who's changed up. And these teams look so serious. I've never seen ninjas light up about any other event the way they do about Team Ninja Warrior. Like, you guys really seem to love this a lot.
It's because it's so much fun. I mean, the regular season is pretty stressful. I mean, at least for me it is. I try to have fun, but at the same time I'm so on a mission. My goal is I want to win. I want to beat the mountain. And I've become so wrapped up in that. Sometimes it's hard for me I gotta remind myself it's fun. Team Ninjas, it's just, I like to trash talk. It's just for fun, like with my friends, and they never show that, but, we always the rest of the Wolfpack guys and stuff. We're like, well, I'm gonna win this year, and you guys, there's no way you're gonna beat me, and it's just kind of like a friendly rivalry we have, and it's just way more relaxed and fun. I think that the outcome isn't as it doesn't matter as much to a lot of us. It's because we know it depends on whose day it is, because we're all so close. It comes down to hundredths of a second, one little slip up. There's so many factors. You know what I mean? It's just, for me, it's fun, and that's kind of why that's why I named the team Party Time, because when I found out, when we were doing the show last year, I was like, I'm just going to have fun. And we literally, when I showed up, I'm with Jake Murray. Jake Murray's, I don't know if you guys can tell from his personality, but he's like, he's so much fun to be around. And I knew it was going to be fun. So that's what it was. It was just a party.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like a party. And I'm hoping I'll be able to get it in Canada a little bit easier this year, because last time it was a nightmare to get, but we'll be watching it for sure, and we'll be covering it. I'm kind of looking through the list here, and I'm trying to think. I guess I'll have tons of time to give my opinion. If there's a team you're worried about going up against, who do you think is going to give you a good run for your money?
Wow, it's so hard to narrow that down. There's a few individuals that, when they're on, they're pretty much unbeatable, or they're very, they're so good. Like Drew Dreschel, man. We just don't. I think last year we didn't really get to see what Drew's capable of. He's just one of those competitors that rides that edge of being in control and being out of control. And he pushed on the gas a little too much, and so he had some falls. But when he is on, he's probably the fastest ninja out there. So, and then his teammate, James, he's phenomenal. So the two of them together, they're always going to be a threat. What they call the real life beast, that team is always a threat to win. They could win it all. And then Jesse Graff's team, Jesse's such a strong, fast female. She's probably the fastest female on the show. It doesn't matter who the other teammates are. You got Jessie as she's so strong. So, and she's got strong teammates too. I think Jesse LaFleur.
Yeah, I think he's stepping in for Travis Brewer on on Team G4. So I think she's got Nicholas Coolidge still, who was incredible.
Oh my gosh, when I think about it, I just really hope they don't pair me with them the first round. Those two teams. I mean, then you still have Ian and Megan Martin and Dan Yeager. That team, Yeah, people don't realize it, but I don't know if you could tell last year, but it was only Ian. It almost was me and Ian in the finals. Their team is that good. Travis, beat Ian by hundredths of a second. But if you know what I mean, if he was just a little faster, you would have seen them in the finals. So that team is, and the thing is, you might have seen a different winner at that point because they might have had a stronger relay team. I think their relay team was probably a little stronger than Travis's relay team. And that's what makes the show so interesting. Is it's hard to predict a winner because you can have a captain that's super strong and can carry the team. He can have two weak teammates and he can get that team all the way to the relay. But the team that wins the relay is going to be the one that's more, there can be that has faster members, spread through the team. One captain, super fast captain, is not, if he has two weak members, it's going to be near impossible for him to carry the whole team through the relay. So that's what makes the show, one of the aspects of the show that makes it so interesting. It's just hard to predict who's going to win.
Yeah, we had so many surprising results last season, and there was some complaints about the format, but it's really hard to come up with a better alternative, right? It's you want every race to matter, and the scoring system did allow for that, so that every race did matter, but nobody was out automatically after the first two races. So I don't know. Do you know if they've changed up the scoring system at all?
I heard a rumor that they were going to, and I heard you guys talk about on your podcast how you guys didn't like how it was structured. It sounded like, at least Bijan didn't. But I don't think there is a better solution, and I don't think they did a good job on the show of really communicating why you wanted to win every match. Because, a lot of people were like, well, the first match didn't matter, the seeding match. It actually mattered a lot. And not only because you went up against usually the slower team, but also because you didn't have to run it right away. What you guys don't see is if you lost, you're immediately up. You have to run immediately. And so if you just got done running, you might be really tired and you have to run again. That might have been the only reason that I ended up beating Joe Morawski, because I remember looking over at Joe and he had just got done falling and he looked a little winded. And I actually was dying. I was really tired because I just got done racing. I had raced Kevin Bowl earlier, but I had a short break, and that took it out of me. And I was actually pretty winded, but I looked over and I knew if I was winded, Joe just got done running. He was really winded, so I convinced myself I was going to win that race. But I don't know if I could have beat him if he was fresh. So there's aspects of the show, of the way it's set up, that I think that a lot of the audience don't see on how great of a system they actually have.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know what part is just the show, or how they've structured it and how much actually happened. So I was a little skeptical sometimes that they did make people run again right away, but it sounds like that actually did happen. So yeah, that definitely does make a change for sure.
Yeah, it did happen, and I just wish there was a way for them to communicate how brilliant it is, because I think they did a brilliant job of making the show every run counted and make it exciting for TV. It's just hard, I think, for them to communicate all the reasons of why it was so brilliant within that short amount of time.
Yeah, I have to say, watching even the previews, because they've been showing the first season on TV lately, and they keep playing the clip of Joe falling behind and then making that leap halfway across the bars. I don't know if you remember or not, but it sold me on the concept immediately, because we'd never seen so many of you, especially, actually, you're a perfect example of someone we hadn't seen trying to go fast. We didn't know how fast you could go until we got to watch Team Ninja Warrior and saw that, when the pressure's on, you guys can really speed it up if you have to.
Oh yeah, that clip, by the way, is phenomenal. I love watching that clip of Joe, diving at that bar. But yeah, the regular show doesn't force the competitors to move fast. There's no reason actually to. Well, there's some money incentive that they give for you to move fast if you make in the top 3 places on the regular show. But for a lot of competitors, it's not worth the risk. So you'll see me. I actually never really try to race for the fastest time. I'll try to keep a decent pace to get into the money spot, because my slow pace is usually it can be fast enough. But you'll never see me just run all out, because it's not worth the risk to me. I want to make it as far as I can. So the team concept is so brilliant, because you're forcing the competitors to run. I mean, for myself, I'm actually very competitive. I grew up in a large family of all boys. We're pretty much all boys. And when I see someone right in front of me and they're going to beat me, I'm forced to. I'm going to let my body take over, and I'm going to do something that I might do in training, but I'd never do on the course. I'm going to have to take a risk, and I love that aspect of it. And that's when you'll see the athleticism of all the ninjas actually come out for the guys, especially that hold back. So it's such a fun concept. I really hope that they expand it and you see it they just they make it bigger. So.
Well, they kind of are this year, right? They're going to have a college edition this time around. So I guess you'll get to be a fan of the show and watch from home and not know the results for once.
Oh, I'm excited about that. And actually, one of the guys, I don't know his last name, is Zach. He's going to be on the show. He came out and trained with us, and he was so fast. He was a super, I don't know, he's a wrestler and stuff, but we all did a race, and he beat us in the race. Me and some of the Wolfpack members. So there's so many, young college kids, and it's going to be so exciting. And I'm not going to know the results because I'm not going to be there actually. So it's going to be so much more fun to watch. I'm going to be the other side of it.
You'll get to enjoy it as a fan.
That's right. And, we were actually talking before the show, off the air, and it's something that as a competitor, it's a lot different for us to watch the show when you're a part of it, and then it's a totally different experience for us. So it's going to be fun to not know anything and actually just watch.
So speaking of training, I wanted to give a quick update for everybody on my couch to salmon ladder. Still trying to follow through with that as best I can. So every second day, giving it another try. So Brian, I'm using muscles I don't normally use, like my arms and shoulders, and basically just trying to take it slowly, middle-aged guy who's never really been a gym goer. So do you have any suggestions for me on how to avoid injury or how to kind of progress a little faster maybe?
So actually, I'm curious, what is this program you're doing?
Okay, so Jesse Graff put out a video, I don't know, a few weeks ago, basically how to go from the couch to the salmon ladder. So had some suggestions for using a chair to do pull-ups and slowly doing, I think it's called the negative movement, where you lower yourself down and not just trying to strain to pull yourself up, and basically trying to get you to go from not being able to do pull-ups to being able to do a salmon ladder eventually. So
where are you at right now? What can you do?
At the very beginning. So let's say we'll call it 2 pull-ups just to round up.
Nice.
So very, very beginner, 40 years old, arthritis, and not a gym goer by any stretch of the imagination for a large number of years. So I am very much the armchair ninja. So out of the armchair, I've got this bar that I got up on my door frame, and I'm doing what I can and trying not to hurt myself in the process.
Well, I'll tell you what. This may surprise some people out there, but I talk to people all the time who think they'll talk to me and they'll think that I can, like, they think I'm a genetically good athlete and stuff. And I don't think a lot of people out there know how much training goes into, being a ninja. People that watch the show and stuff. But, I'm 38 years old, and what I actually struggle a lot of times with, I'll take a lot of time off after the show, and then I'll come back, and I'll be at a level, you'd be surprised, like, pretty low level. Like, I'm starting off at pretty low level. And I think a lot of people like yourself need to realize this, because you can lose motivation, you know what I mean, when you kind of wallow in your inadequacies. So I struggle with this myself. But you gotta, like, keep perspective and realize that, okay, I'm at this level, and just, if you stick to a program, you're going to make progress. And even if it's really small progress, stick to that program, and you can make those small gains. And when you see the small gains, make sure you document all your gains, or document your like how many you can do and your progress with your weights or whatever you're using to work out, and then measure your progress, your reps and stuff. So then you can see the progress and it keep you motivated. Because I think that's one of the key things is people lose motivation when they're doing stuff like this, and they expect big gains. It sounds like a good program. Her program does sound good, and like her having you do the negatives and stuff, that's good. That's a good starting point. But if you just want to get better at, like, doing pull-ups and stuff, just, my main point was just being persistent. Like, you gotta, like, stick to the program, and you have to force yourself to, like, reduce, like, if you're doing, for instance, if you're taking off weight to do the pull-ups, you can't just stick to that. You can't not push yourself. You can't get into a comfortable workout and just stick to that comfortable workout. You have to keep adding weight. You know what I mean? Adding the resistance. So if you're taking weight off in order to do pull-ups, because that's one of the good ways to get good at pull-ups, is just somehow take weight off and then do them. You got to make sure that your next workout, you increase the difficulty and just keep doing that.
Yeah, you say about taking weight off. I actually keep trying to make that comparison when I feel bad about, like, I can only do one or two. It's because I try to imagine, because I see, people training, they'll tie weights around themselves. And I'm like, well, I'm carrying a good 40-pound backpack on me right now. Like, I need to take off. That would probably help me a lot.
Well, one of the things you can do, actually, is you can hook up a pulley system, and you can put weight on the other end, and then hook yourself into a harness, and then you can do the pull-ups like that. So it'll help, it'll take some of the weight off because it'll be pulling on you. That's definitely a way to do more reps. But what you want to do, actually, if you're just trying to gain strength, is you want to do really, really low reps and use that weight of yours. If you can only do 2 pull-ups, then just, do lots of sets. So you do, I don't know if you can do 2 pull-ups and then wait 3 or 4 minutes and then do another 2. If you could do that 5 times, that's actually going to be a pretty good strengthening workout for you.
That's funny. It's similar to what I've been doing, just kind of, I get frustrated, right? So I leave it, and then I'll go back to it, and then I'll leave it and I'll go back to it. So I guess that's kind of what I'm doing. Maybe I'll make it a more set routine than just, me getting, like, I got to try it again. Maybe I can do it this time. Maybe I can do it this time.
Yeah, it's like, for me, I'm working on my one-arm pulp skin, like I started ranting them out there. But it's everything that I do is, like, for the one-arm pull-up training, it's really, really heavy weight. It's really low reps. Like, sometimes I'll only do, like, 1 or 2, but I'm doing, like, 5 sets. So, yeah, you just gotta, you just gotta be persistent. I'm telling you, I get so unmotivated sometimes after I take a lot of time off and I go back. I always have to remind myself that, okay, I'm in the worst shape I've been in like 5. This is something I went through this January. I actually took too much time off. And in January 1st, I was like, okay, I got to prepare for Ninja Warrior season. I went back to the gym back to climbing, and I hadn't climbed like 6 months. And I was climbing the worst I'd ever climbed. Since I'd started climbing like 20 years ago. And I knew that if I just continued to climb, I would get back to the level. And I did. It took like 3 months. And I finally started climbing at that level again, but it was fighting through that. The worst part of it was fighting through that feeling of not being good or not being athletic. You know what I mean? And feeling like, like that self-doubt that I had in my head being like, oh, you're too old. You're 38 years old. You just can't do this anymore. Guys your age, you just, aren't this athletic. But it's just all about being persistent.
Yeah, I have to say that's one of the key things about the show is it has motivated me. I've actually already dropped 40 pounds since last year.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Congratulations, man.
Thanks. It's kind of stalled, and I'm hoping to keep pushing down. But it is from watching the show and from talking to you guys and seeing, it removes all the excuses, right? You see guys, in their 50s that can do these courses and are amazing shape, like John Stewart, and you just go like, I have no excuses. If he can do it, like, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to do that too.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I love the show too. And John is an amazing athlete, and I think he has inspired a lot of people. He's inspired me, and that's one of the reasons. Like when I get down on myself, I'm like, where's all this? Why you have all this self-doubt and talk? Look at John, man. John's crushing, and he's in his 50s. Yeah, it's such a great show because of that. It just shows people out there that have given up that you don't have to give up. You can come back, man. And I love hearing stories like yourselves, like your own story there. And I hear it from fans all the time. I get emails and stuff, and people through my social media telling me, I lost, all this crazy amount of weight, and it blows me away. And to me, it's kind of foreign to me because I've always been pretty active, but to me, it's so much harder for someone who gains that much weight. When you get that far out of shape, and then you have to lose all that weight, that's so much harder than if you're in shape and you're just trying to make a small little gain to me. I think it's crazy. That's why I actually really loved watching the show Biggest Loser, because the amount of commitment that, they do to lose that and how hard that is, that's so amazing to me.
Yeah, I don't know where they find people to do that, because when you're that size, to motivate yourself the way they do is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and they have all these bad habits they have to change. I have horrible habits myself, and I can't imagine like having to change my whole lifestyle just to make the gains that they make. Their gains are so much bigger, I feel like, than some of us guys that are constantly staying active. And we don't have to make huge lifestyle changes in order to get some of these gains. We just maybe tweak our workouts a little or something.
Okay, so that was great. Thank you very much for the advice. I'll definitely be keeping some of that and doing what I can. I want to move on to our video of the week. I found this top 5 worst American Ninja Warrior obstacles. What did you think of the video overall?
I actually agreed with a lot of his analysis, because he talked about on the video some of the bad obstacles and why. If you guys haven't watched it, definitely check it out. One of the obstacles when he showed it, I started laughing because I totally agree. The wall lift. What do you think of that?
Well, see, it was kind of a conditional wall lift. He said the wall lift from ANW4. I think he doesn't mind the wall lift for stage 2 because it's timed, but the wall lift in ANW4, there was no time limit. So what was the point of the wall lift?
Yeah, I mean, if it was heavy enough that it wore you out, so there were people who were failing the next, the warp wall because it wore them out, I could see them putting an obstacle like that. But it really doesn't wear your legs out. And I mean, it's more of a slow you down type of obstacle. I totally agreed with that.
What about the so one that struck me as odd? So his number 5, just to run them down for everybody that didn't watch the video yet. His number 5 was the jump hang with swing. Number 4 was snake crossing. 3 was the walking bar and hourglass drop. He had 2 there. Then the wall lift was number 2, and the number 1 worst obstacle was everything from season 1, which I thought was a great number 1.
Oh my gosh, yeah. When I saw the season one, it's funny for the competitors that are on the show now. When we watch, I think for a lot of us, when we watch season 1, we're amazed that you didn't have like 100 finishers because it's so easy compared to what you see on the show now.
Yeah, we actually, back in the fall, when we were trying to figure out what to talk about in the off season, one of the things we did was we went back and reviewed season 1. I had never seen it. And yeah, it's a lot of episodes of us going, I can't believe how terrible this is. Like, this is absolutely terrible. These tests that they're putting them through aren't even applicable. They have them like running on the beach and doing all these crazy things that didn't make any sense.
Oh, see, I missed that part of it. I've only seen clips of the course, so I didn't realize they did that.
Oh yeah, they were carrying bricks across the beach and stuff as part of the challenges, and it was just nuts.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, the video was. The guy was pretty spot on a lot of the obstacles, because there are really some obstacles that they do have that I don't know how they got past the vetting process. Yeah, there's so many cool things that they can do, and then once in a while, and maybe it's budget. I don't know why they just throw some of these in there, like the swing. The swing's pretty lame.
It is kind of lame. I don't know how easy you can say it is when we have people failing it still, right? If everybody did it, then you could kind of say, maybe it's too easy. But, I mean, there's still people that fail it.
Well, he's on Team Ninja. And when I saw that, I was thinking to myself, why did they put this in here? Because I never once stood on it. When I saw that there was just a chain there.
Oh, right, yeah. Everybody was grabbing the chain and just swinging it across.
Yeah, yeah. No, there was very few people that actually stopped and grabbed it. That was just a waste of time. Yeah, it's just kind of one of those obstacles. Is why even put something? You got something to hold on to. Maybe it's the climber in me that I don't need that big, huge thing to stand on. It's just it gets in the way.
It seems like it would actually make it harder.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of awkward the way they have it. I guess it's a good obstacle. It kind of shows the skill level, I guess, of some of the people that they let on there that maybe should have done a little more training. I don't know.
Yeah. What about the one that's the only one in that I don't know if I agree with, and I would actually be interested in your take on it, is the walking bar. It seemed a little random, a little trial and error, but at the same time, it looks like it was a skill. Like, it didn't look like it was unfair.
The snake bridge?
No, the snake crossing was pretty bad.
I like the snake cross. I mean, I think it's an awesome obstacle. I think it's brilliant. But from what I heard from the other competitors, it just was a little unfair because they hadn't had it. They hadn't had all the kinks worked out, so it had to be adjusted, like the tension on it or something. So it was harder for some people than others. But other than that, I actually think it's a brilliant obstacle. I don't know why that was on the video.
Yeah, I think it was the technical difficulties they had. No, I mean the walking bar. So it's almost like the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The upper body. It was kind of like flying bars.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the flying bar, but you keep one down and you just kind of walk it across.
Yeah. I don't think that's really as visually pleasing as... Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It actually is a pretty freaking hard obstacle. Yeah.
Do you think it looks random, I guess, is the question? It doesn't...
Yeah.
It doesn't seem random. It seems like it's a skill. Like, it doesn't...
Well, it's definitely a skill. I actually hate that obstacle. I do. I hate it. There's some obstacles that I look at, I'm like, whoever designed this is a genius. And then there's obstacles like that. I'm like, they were really trying to do something different here, but it just doesn't have that, that feel of new and awesome to it. And
like the circuit board, maybe?
I like that thing. I heard you guys weren't a huge fan of that, or is that?
I kind of liked it. Bijan definitely didn't like it.
See, I loved it. I thought it was one of the most brilliant obstacles that they've had on the show, because it was a huge separator. And maybe you guys can't tell. Maybe it should have been put earlier in the obstacle, on the course. But I actually think if they would have done that, almost all the competitors would have failed on it. And the guys that made it to it, they were at a high level. Like, those guys were legit. If they would have put it in the first half of the course, it would have been a slaughter. I mean, I think the guys that you saw make it there, we that was our skill level and our skill set, so we made it look easy. But it really wasn't. I mean, Megan, if you guys know anything about Megan fell on that, and Megan can climb harder than most people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Most guys and girls. I mean, she's phenomenal, and she fell on it. So it's a brilliant obstacle. I love it. I mean,
maybe we'll see it again. It could be the Area 51 effect, right? Where just the people that got to it were so good that it made it look easy, but it actually isn't.
Yeah, I think Area 51 was actually ridiculously easy. It didn't look hard at all. I think they had one guy fall on it right during the competition, the Japanese competitor.
Yeah, I think that was it. But he was actually quite a bit shorter too, which probably would have made it 10 times harder.
Yeah, I have no idea. It must have been mental for him, actually. I think they just have a mental hard time on the course. I don't know why, but I think there's no reason to fall on that thing. It's really easy. If you're making it to that, then it's got to be a mental thing. At that point, it can't be a physical thing.
You would definitely, I would definitely take your opinion over mine on that one. All right. So that was our video of the week. We'll definitely be sharing it in the show notes, and we'll be tweeting it out. So if you guys want to check that out, it was pretty cool. They actually have a lot of cool videos on that channel with, their votes for best obstacles and lots of different ones on there. So you should check them out. Next thing, actually the last thing on the list was our latest YouTube cartoon, Attack of the Genie Ninja. My new hobby of creating little animations of clips from our show. What'd you think of it, Brian?
You want my honest opinion?
Maybe?
Yeah, no. It was great. I can't do that type of stuff. It was funny because I remember that actual conversation that you put in the cartoon, and that it was kind of funny. I think it's a great way for you to reach out and get some kids to know about the podcast. So yeah, it was pretty funny. I was laughing when I was watching it.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get better over time. I'm actually recruiting my 10-year-old little artist into. She's been away, so when she comes back, maybe we'll step it up a little bit, and I'll get her a little more involved with it. I already know what clip I'm doing next, and we'll make a little fun game of it, because I think a few people liked. I called it Who Dat Ninja, and I posted the picture of just the ninjas for people to guess who it was, and we'll see if you can guess the next one.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Okay, Brian. So, what's the big takeaways today? How can people support the Wolfpack? How can they reach you? What do you want to leave everyone with?
Well, if you guys want to see the Wolfpack Ninja Tour come to a city near you, so you guys can try a lot of the amazing obstacles that you see on the show and more, go to Kickstarter and just, donate $1 or more and support the cause. And hopefully you'll see us next year at a city near you. Thanks for having me on the show. It's been fun.
Oh, it was awesome having you on here. I definitely would love to do it again. I realized that makes 3 of the 4 Wolfpack members have now been on the show. I just got to get E on here at some point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Megan was on. She was your first guest, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. Yeah. So that is it for this week. Thank you, Brian, for joining me, and thank you, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to support the show, stop by our website, click on the link for Atomic Climbing Holds, use our discount code of podcast, you can save yourself 10% off your purchase. And if you'd like to reach out to us, you can find all of our contact information at ninjapodcast.com. We are on Twitter and Instagram as Ninja Podcast. And how can they reach you, Brian?
They can find me on social media, me or any of the Wolfpack guys. If you want to you can actually contact me through wolfpackninjas.com. or you can just follow me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. That's Brian Arnold _ANW.
Very cool. Well, thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a great week.
Peace. Ow.